Shalom from Samaria, from the ancient city of Shīlō, a very important city in the history of Israel. As you remember, according to the biblical account, it is here that the first capital of Israel was located. It is here where the Ark of the Covenant was located and the Tabernacle. We are now in the Tel Shiloh, which has the remains of the ancient civilizations. As you can see, the stones beneath, and hilltops surround us. You can see many hilltops. This is the biblical Samaria. You can see below there is a road number 60. It leads toward Ariel in that direction, and in that direction it leads to Jerusalem. So this is a very important place for the history of Israel. You can also remember this place from the biblical account describing the story of Samuel. As you remember, Hannah was praying for a child because she was barren, and God did answer her prayers and gave her Samuel. She named him Samuel because Samuel in Hebrew means borrowed from God. And this is particularly what happened. Hannah promised God that if she will ever have a son, she will give him to the Lord. And so when Samuel was born, Hannah dedicated Samuel to the Lord, to God, to the God of Israel, and he became a very important prophet for the nation of Israel. So here you can see some more, and I'll go around to show you a little bit more of this place. So let's go visit Shīlō. So we are now looking at the remains, some of the oldest remains of this place, which is the Canaanite wall that surrounded the hill and protected that settlement. So in the background you can see huge stones that are visible. Those big stones are the original Canaanite stones that they used to fortify the city. And later on, of course, it was built upon by the Israel people, by the Jewish people, who also settled here. Here you can see the proposed site of the Tabernacle. As you can see, this is where they believe the Tabernacle could be located. In the background you can see the people sitting. This is where the Tabernacle could have stand, as it was built in Shilo. So let's go check it out. There is a group of, I believe, American tourists that are guided by a person who lives right over there in that city. He's giving them a tour. So he's a settler, a Jewish settler who lives in the territory of Samaria today. There's a few villages where the settlers live. One of is over there. You can see another one over there where the new houses are. This is a modern city of Shilo. So there's a few of those in the area. And then of course the vineyard. The Jewish people started to grow olive trees and vines, and started to produce olive oil and wine. Before they moved in, this place was barren. It just looked like this hill here, just stones and sand. That's it. And now it's getting pretty green. So in the background you can see the observation tower, which is on the top of Shilo. This is where you can watch a movie about this place. And here are some really old remains. So let me just go up now. I'll stand on the walls of Shilo, which is quite incredible that you can be here and you can see the walls went around the hill, and from here you could very well see all the valleys. So it was a very strategic place to be in, and it was difficult to conquer it. So we are just now looking at the possible location. We are in a possible location of the Tabernacle, of the Mishkan, as it is called in Hebrew. This is where it's supposed to be a place where the Ark of the Covenant was located, and we might be just standing in a place where Hannah was praying to the God of Israel for her son. This might be the exact place that story happened in the Bible. So you might be looking at the same hills that Hannah looked when she prayed to the God of Israel. And God of Israel answered her prayer. and she did receive a son. Today, the prayer of Hannah is often described as a prayer that is coming from heart, straight from the heart. It doesn't have eloquent words, but it's an honest prayer. It's an honest prayer which God hears. And it's an amazing story if you think about it. In the old days, not to have a child for a woman who wanted one was a tragedy. It was a horrible thing, and actually socially it was very isolating. You felt like you are not complete when you did not have children in those days. So Hannah really wanted a son, really wanted a child, and she wanted it that much that she even decided that if she will be granted this wish from God, she will give the child to the Lord. And when Samuel was born, he was brought up right here with the sons of Eli. You remember that story? He even prophesied the end of Eli and his wicked sons, as it happened in the Bible. We are now standing in a place where those dramatic events happened. After thousands of years, archaeologists found remains of artifacts going back to this time period. It's a real privilege, and it's amazing to be in Israel, to be in the biblical land of Samaria, and be able to stand on those ancient stones and experience history like never before. So now I'm gonna go back. Before I was standing on the tower, as I mentioned, so we're gonna go back. There's some more things here that I want to share with you, so we'll check it out. So here you can find more information about the wall of Shīlō. You can see this is a slope going down to the valley, and the wall was built on the edges of the hill, and it was first built in the Canaanite period. Of course, you can see a picture showing how it could have looked, and the wall was, as we can read here, 6.7 meters high and about 3.5 meters thick. So it was quite a big wall that surrounded the city. So let's go. There is a road beneath. Let's check it out, see where it leads to. This is the first time I'm here, so again it's exciting for me to be here with you and to share with you those amazing views of Shilo. So I hope you're enjoying it. I hope you like the view. Yesterday was raining in Israel, which is wonderful for Israel. As you know, we love Israel, and it's a blessing for Israel. And because the rain happened yesterday, the sky is really clear today. The air is very clean, and you can see far into the distance. It's a very clear day today. So again, it's the same information here about the wall, and we'll go this way, see where it leads us. Here you can see the wall from the bottom. See how steep the hill is. And in the distance you can see vineyards. You can actually buy good wine here if you like. They have a nice wine which is worldwide actually, and I heard a story that there is a specialist in Israel who actually took some of the ancient grapes that were found at near the Dead Sea, and he used that grapes to create once again the same stream of vineyard trees. So in a way you're able to drink wine from the same strength of grapes that they had, you know, 3,000 years ago. So it's quite amazing. The wine, of course, is not that old, but it's the same genetic composition. So it's quite interesting that you can taste the wine and feel a little bit like you're 3,000 years ago. I did not try it. I don't know if it's good or not. I guess it's good. Just didn't try it. So you can also buy olive oil from here, many other local products that are done by the settlers. So you can see clearly the plantation here. It's like built on a terrace, and on the top you have the modern Shilo. This is where the people live today. So you have the ancient Shilo right here, you have the hills, and you have the modern Shilo where the Jewish settlers live today. We're not gonna go that way because I believe it is going right into the plantation. So we're gonna go back and see what else can we see in Shilo. So sorry for the detour, but I hope you enjoyed it anyways. It's nice that you can walk here alone, you know, nobody's bothering you. There was a group of terrorists in front of me, but I just waited for them to leave, not to bother them, and I'm pretty much alone here, so it's quite nice. You can meditate, you can pray. It's really nice. It's really nice to have this connection, the spiritual connection to this ancient land where the biblical stories were written. And Shilo is a really important place. This is where the 12 tribes met, where they decided the division of the land. As I mentioned, this is where the tabernacle stood. So a very important place, and it's wonderful that you can travel today to this place and visit it on your own. Okay, so we're back on the hill where the observation point is, and we're gonna go back now. Let's see just here what they have here. Okay, so here you can see a map of this place. You can see the top over here where we are now. It's here. You can see a modern Shilo, which is over there, you know. And what is interesting is that there's a synagogue here called the Zikron Mishkan Shilo synagogue, and this synagogue is built like in the same style as was the tabernacle. So it's not a replica, but it's quite similar in its direction and the things they have inside the synagogue. So it's a way of showing you how it looked like in the Mishkan, in the tabernacle.
It'd actually be bigger than that.
So we're going back now to in the direction of the visitors center, which is below. We came back from there. This is the direction of the Mishkan, the tabernacle, the proposed location, and we are going back now. So you can see a group here.
But this is the real place. You're going to get it because this is the real place. This is where Tanakh happens. It's much easier to get Tanakh here than sitting in a class in Paris, New Jersey, or Miami, Florida, or Boca. Okay? Now, we're going to go over the 40 years of the wandering of the desert because has to do with the Mishkan. They get out of, they're in Egypt. They get free from Egypt in what place? Ramses. They go to Sukkot. They go to Mara. Right? The story of the waters. They leave. And then they go down to Rabin, and they get the story of Shilo. Approximately here they get by 26.
So you see some more stuff which is being excavated here. And again, this is a place which has stones from different time periods, different civilizations used to be here. You have starting from the Canaanite era, you go to Byzantine and even Roman, or even the British Mandate era. So it's another mosaic of history here that you can see. Here you can see, for example, a residential area beneath us where the houses were located. This is from the Byzantine of the Christian area that people settled here, so it's much later period. And what do we have here? Oh, an ancient olive press. This is from early Islamic age. You can see a picture showing how it looked, and this is how it looks now. So This place has a long tradition of making olive oil, wine, and the proof of this is the ancient olive presses and wine presses. So again, you can see the panorama, a beautiful view of Samaria, where we are now. I really recommend this place. If you ever gonna go to Israel, if you're afraid to go on your own, you can get a tour, because this is the roots. This is the roots of Israeli history, of the history of Israel. This is where it happened. This is where it began. You know, Jerusalem is the most important place, but the roots of Jerusalem are here. This is where they had, if you want to say, the first temple, because this is where the tabernacle stood, in Shīlō. Here is another very interesting finding of an ancient altar, a four-horned altar from the first temple period. And it was found where later on they built a Byzantine church. So you can see the map, the diagram showing you how the church was structured, and you can see the mosaic of stone beneath it. So this is where history mixes, you know, the really old stuff like the altar from the first temple period. First temple period is from King Solomon till the destruction of Jerusalem in 586. This is the first temple period. So of course 586 BC I'm talking about. So very old stuff. So we had the four-horn altar, and I was talking about the Byzantine church, and another stage was a orphan mosque, as you can read here, Yama al-Yatin, and this is the building you can see here. This is the remains of it. So we're starting from, let's say, you know, 800 BC till, you know, 1500 and later AD. So this is the span of history we're talking about, and in between you have different civilizations that were here. So it's a nice resting area here. If you're with a group, you can have a sandwich here, a dish in Shīlō. Enjoy your snacks. Some more mountains. Let's see what they have here. It's supposed to have some kind of diagram or hologram on the tabernacle of the Mishkan. Maybe it's here. I don't know. Let's see. It looks kind of closed. So I don't know if I'll be able to enter it. Probably not, because there's quite a big chain, and looks pretty closed. So now, like this time, I don't know if I can step on this Asian mosaic. Maybe I shouldn't. So I'll walk just here. Let's see what they have here. So I believe it's another villa. So not a church, but a villa from the another later period, maybe Byzantine. I'm not sure. I'm gonna check it out, and later I'll tell you exactly what this is. But inside there's some old stones. Probably is a mini museum, some sort. Okay, there's another sign here, so maybe it will tell us what it is we're looking at. Okay, so this is what they found here. So stone basin, some kind of keys, other chain kind of things. Okay, you see, I was not supposed to step on the mosaic. This is why it says so. I was just going from a different direction and I didn't see the sign, but I didn't stand on it anyway, so that was a good choice. So you can see there was a basilica here and a Star of David, a mosaic of the Star of David discovered in the north end. So quite interesting that you have a basilica with a Star of David in it. This is quite unusual. Oh, here you can see a map of Shīlō. So we were here where the suggested site of the tabernacle is. We walked a little bit here on this road. I would take us to the vineyards, and we came back. This is the tower observation area over here, and I'm walking back now, and we are here next to the basilica, and the hologram of the Mishkan, the tabernacle, is here. So we're going in the right direction, so we'll be able to see it. So this is the map, and this is the real thing. This is Shīlō. So you see a little bit of the tower, the back. If I step on the road here, you will be able to see it, exactly how far it is. Now that you know the map, it's easier for you to the trees cover it. Maybe later on we'll be able, but you can see a little bit of it, of the tower over there. It's right above the trees. This is the observation point we were at the beginning of the video. So let's go find this hologram. It's interesting how it's gonna look. Might be this little house here. I don't know. Let's see. Here's some music. It's like an Arab music. Or no, it's Hebrew. Sorry, it's Hebrew. So let's see. The hologram of the Mishkan. Okay, I know where the music is coming from. It's coming from the youth sitting over there, and it's strange to hear modern Israeli music in a place like this, you know, which is very, very old, ancient. So let's see. But you let me in, because the lady said if I call, she will let me in. So again, you can see the view. Nobody's answering. Hello.
הדלת פתוחה.
Okay. So here.
The dark days of slavery are over. We've left Egypt. Back at the foot of Mount Sinai, we were commanded for the first time to build a tabernacle. And in fact, after the giving of the Torah at Mount Sinai, the tabernacle was built. The tabernacle is a portable, temporary temple. But for 39 years, it accompanied us in our wanderings through the desert, taken apart and reassembled again and again. After entering the Holy Land, Joshua established the tabernacle in Shilo. The Shilo tabernacle is built of a stone foundation and wooden beams, and covered by layers of fabric, a combination symbolizing the transition from a temporary tabernacle to a more permanent one. Shilo is to be the dwelling place of the Shekhinah, the divine presence, the holiest site for the Jewish people for 369 years. The tabernacle was comprised of two main parts, the courtyard and the tabernacle tent. The tabernacle courtyard was rectangular, 100 cubits in length by 50 cubits in width, about 50 meters by 25 meters.
So that was a nice movie, I guess. It was a very good movie, and you can see Israeli group entering this place. So Israeli soldiers came here to also visit the ancient Shīlō. And remember, we are on the territories which are known as the West Bank. I of course call it biblical Samaria. So it's quite interesting to see, you know, Israeli soldiers here, machine guns. Well, let's go back to our tour. We're almost finished now because we're getting closer to the entrance. So we started our tour from the tower on top of Shīlō. We went to the tabernacle proposed place. Oh, here you can see where the tower is. This is where we started our video. And we went to the tabernacle, which was even further north, and we were going back on this road, and now we're going to the entrance, the little cafe. I'll probably have a coffee, have something to drink, use the bathroom, and this is probably the end of the tour. Wow, there's a big hole in it over here, so let's just wait a little bit before I end that episode. See what we have here. It's like a quarry of some kind. Okay, it's a water pool from the Byzantine period. So, see it? It's right at the entrance. We make a picture of that. Okay, there's just a few things you can see here. Another, here you can see a wine press, a really old one. So again, you can see how they did it, the technology they used, and this is the place where it's located. So you have some of the modern winemaking facilities, and also a really ancient one right here. This is the holes where they would collect the juice that would be crushed. The grapes would be crushed here, and you can see holes where the juice would go into those holes. This is where they would put the crushing stone. So quite a big wine press over here. Okay, and here you can see another replica of a wine press, a smaller one. Let's see how the stone would go around. You would use this wooden pole to move the huge stone around in a circle, and beneath would be grapes or olives, depending on what we would be making. So guys, thank you for your attention. I hope you enjoyed Shīlō. I certainly did. It's a very nice place. We had a very nice day, and I hope to see you soon. Next episode. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit the like button to this video to spread the news, and I will see you soon in the next video about Israel. Shalom.